18,
Okay.
let's get the show started. So with the goal of Glam Media Show, like I always tell people, is to support and promote our own, to showcase what our African talents were made of. Because when I started Glam Media, it was just, I was doing just Cameroon, promotion for Cameroonian talents only. But then I started getting small approaches from people that are non-Cameroonians. They really were interested in what I was doing. And at the time I was dumb enough to say no. And I said, no, it's only for my people. And then Eufen was one of the people that told me, no, don't do that. Don't say
Right.
no. Just he
Right.
told me, he said, where I work, we are Pan-African blog. We promote everybody, and even out of Africa. So there's no reason why you should limit yourself. So that's when I started thinking, I'm like, okay, let's do something that can showcase more of our talents. We have a lot of talents, but again, 80% we do is Cameroonians, because that's my people. That's who I have access to. So welcome to the Glam Media Talk Show. You have been
Thank
a
you.
fervent follower and supporter of our page. You have been there from the onset, like from the very beginning, when I was even confused between, accepting if I'm even a blogger. I was
Yes.
insisting that I'm a promoter. And so I came to you and I talked to you and I said, sis, I want to start blogging. What are the, tips that you have for me? And you gave me everything that I needed to know. And you're still supporting me to date. So I appreciate you for that.
Absolutely.
So welcome to
Thank
our show.
you.
And we'd like to start by asking you to tell us a little bit about yourself, your names. If you want to give us your real names, that's fine. Your names, and then where you live, what you do, and then we'll get into the showbiz part as we go along.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you. I think you already introduced me, so I don't even know what else to say. But my name is Mbole Ekaney, and I live in the United States. I guess I'll say I'm a blogger now. I mean, I'm a content creator because my blogging is not limited to just posting on the post. We make content for other things. I also manage content for like an organization as well. So I'm a content creator slash blogger. I'm
Okay.
also editor in chief for a magazine, the HotJem, new issues coming out. But anyway, yeah, so I think I'm multifaceted. I'm very much of a creative. I think the only thing that I'm lacking is really how to do graphic design. If I could do graphic designs, then I feel like I'd be perfect in what I'm doing. But yeah, so that's what I do. I've been blogging since I could say I've been blogging since before 2011, because I had a friend of mine who had a website that I used to help to provide content for, and I used to edit her magazine a few years before that, and then I got into blogging in 2011. But then I paused it because I wanted to kind of develop more in my professional field. I didn't want it to be a conflict, and then I came back to blogging in 2013, where I just did it through 2014. It's funny because we passed our 10-year mark and we didn't even celebrate that. I didn't
Oh
even
my
notice it.
goodness.
It was after I'm like, oh, wait a minute, we've already done 10 years. We're like
That's
11th
that's
year now.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
round of
And
applause. That's
and I
awesome.
mean consistently, meaning that we've had at least one outlet function is either Facebook or the website. So it's just been continuous from that time. Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
So
Pancho,
yep.
go ahead.
I think I kind of like her accent.
Oh my
They all
goodness.
they all question now.
Like I've been seeing her pictures.
Yeah, that's good though.
I've been
Thank you for
seeing her pictures,
appreciating
but
our
I've
accent.
never heard her speak before. I've never
Well,
heard her talk.
let me just clarify, because you have some people that they come on shows and they say like they hate, let's just say, and they say wrong things. So I'll just clarify, because I remember a few years ago I interviewed Mr. Leo for an African media outlet, and there were so many people, and I interviewed Njia Clinton, the football player, and so many people were saying that I was faking my accent. I was born out of I was born out of Cameroon, and I did all my primary education abroad. So it's not like I just left Cameroon when I was like in my teens and started having an accent. I lived abroad for like 11 years before coming to Cameroon and going
To
back
Cameroon.
again. Yeah, so that's partly where the accent comes in. But I mean, I could change. You want me to speak Cameroonian? All right, let's do it.
The thing is, most people that have that speak like Americans, most Cameroonians that speak like Americans, they also have the ability to speak like Cameroonians. But the
Right.
fact that you speak more like an American on a daily basis, it just makes it comes out naturally. So I've also witnessed that, like coming to America, I came at at an older age. So I'm not able to speak exactly like Americans. I just know that I have to speak in a way to communicate what I'm saying. I
Right.
just know we are the ones that suffer the question of where are you from? What accent is that? I love you. We are the ones that suffer that problem. And with time, I've grown to accommodate with them, because what they tell me is sometimes they tell me that I speak too fast. So in order for me to communicate what I want, I have to go slow. It doesn't matter what accent I'm using, because an accent is just the way you speak, how you pronounce your words and how you sound. So they tell me, just say slowly, just talk slowly and tell us what you want and we'll get it. So with like right now, I'm able to communicate with them. I don't even have to change the accent or anything. I just
Got it.
communicate and tell them what I want. And for me, I have a friend who speaks like that. When we came to America, we're all amazed. Like we're like, oh my gosh, Edie rap. I don't want to call her name, but she knows she's here and in the, itself. But all of us were amazed, like Mama Mia, my friend, come on, Cameroon rap. But it's just
That is
when
so
we when
funny.
we when we stayed here for a while, we got to understand that once somebody has been here for a long time, it just comes naturally. They just speak like that. So
Right.
anybody telling you that you're faking it, I beg not jealousy. No, yeah,
I
you
personally
rap your
don't
TV,
care.
sis.
I mean, I
Rap,
don't
I
care,
you
to
don't
know,
be
think
honest
easy.
with you. Yes. If anything, I
I
think
don't
that
think
I
it's
tend to
okay
speak
like
slowly because I try to speak more with my people. So I feel like I have an accent because I don't sound that American since I do interact with a lot of Africans. I have a lot of Nigerian friends that I went to
Yeah,
school with that came from Nigeria. So it's the same thing, but I also have Cameroonian friends and Nigerian friends who were born here and maybe
yeah,
went back home and came back. So it just depends on the setting I'm in. But for the most part, most people will still say I don't really have a strong
that you're
Cameroon
faking it.
accent. Yeah.
I beg. Cameroonians sometimes when they're not able to do something that somebody is doing, they just start giving you a hard time
I
about it.
just think that when they're
Please,
not informed, they don't know. Yes, if you don't, because I don't tell people, like people don't really see me live. I don't do many lives, so they don't really hear me. And I guess they assume because I'm Cameroonian, I live abroad, they just assume that my accent would be a certain way. But when
Cameroonian.
they listen to me, they're like, "Oh my gosh, she's rapping." I mean, I've heard people say crazy things,
That is
and I really don't
jealousy.
care. I don't care, to be honest with you. I don't say anything bad about people's accents. You know what I mean?
I know,
So
sis.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much for that clarification, sis. Okay, so let's continue with for everybody who knows you, right? We know that you're the founder of the HotJem, which is a Cameroonian
Right.
blog.
Right.
So with the HotJem now, we have the HotJem magazine, which is also this is I think your first publication, right?
Yes. And we're having
This one
another
featuring
one
Mr.
now
Leo was
soon.
the first
Yep.
publication. So
Yes.
can you tell us how the HotJem came about, like how you got into it, what brought about the
Sure.
idea of blogging and HotJem?
All right. So I have always been somebody who has been into the online community. I mean, again, I think I'm a bit more Americanized in my mentality. So that was to my advantage. So following blogs was never like a strange thing. We've always followed blogs. I used to follow a lot of fashion blogs. You had like these Italian, these French, Italian, all these European bloggers. They were very much into fashion. So I used to follow them. And then when I started discovering black bloggers, like fashion, bloggers, I was like, oh my God, so I switched. And
Yeah,
then what really made me think a lot was because when I went to university, when I was doing my undergraduate studies, like I said, I went to school with a lot of Nigerians. And no matter where these Nigerians grew up, even if they were born and bred in America, they knew all the latest artists from their country. Like at the time, if let's say it
yep,
was
yep.
Two Face Baba singing, we'd go to a party and they are all singing, even the ones who have never been to Nigeria. And I used to wonder, like, how did they know? Where did they get all these latest songs? And then my
Information. Yeah,
friends would be like, they'll say, oh, Bella Nigeria. That time, that was when Bella Nigeria had just started, and I didn't even
yeah.
know. So when we used to follow the Bella Nigeria, I didn't even know that it had just started maybe about a year or two before that.
Oh
So they'll
wow.
always say, oh, Bella Nigeria, Bella Nigeria. And I'm like, what is Bella Nigeria? They're like, it's a website run by a Nigerian. And they always post a lot of like lifestyle music and stuff like that. And I'm
Yeah,
sure they had other blogs, but they kept saying Bella Nigeria. So fast forward, I started going to Bella Nigeria's website. And at the time, they were on Blogspot. They had not had bellanigeria.com. It was
dot
Bella
com. Yeah.
Nigeria Blogspot. So I used to go there and I would see them post like artists and all that. So that's how I started getting familiar with like a lot of these Nigerian artists. So then
Okay.
I remember one day I was just like, I have a cousin of mine who has a friend who's a blogger. He's older and he blogs, but he's more on the like political blogging. So I remember my friend used to talk about him and he kept saying, "Oh, he blogs. Have you seen his blog?" So one day I went on his blog and it's like back then I think Cameroonian bloggers were linked to like one big blog and then they had many little blogs under that big blog and there were many francophone blogs. So when I used to go on those blogs, I'd say, wow, Cameroonians actually have blogs. And then I would start going online to see like who are the popular singers from things like that. And I never could find
Wow.
anything. I would always find like the older school, like Petit Pays and all those people. So I said, wow, it'd be cool if I could do something like Bella Nigeria where I'm
Oh
highlighting.
wow, yeah.
Yes. And that's really how it started. But before I actually got into like music and all that, I said, let me test the blogging. I'll first start as a fashion blogger. I'll do fashion lifestyle. So
Okay.
initially, if you look at my old posts, you'll see that I was posting me and then mixing up with entertainment in America and stuff like that.
And yeah,
While
yeah, I remember
I
that.
was doing my research and I was sharing it, and people were following me because it was me at the time. And back then, people never really commented, but they will comment on my posts. So then, as I did that, little by little, I would just be going online trying to get information about like all these songs, artists, movies from
Yeah.
Cameroon, and then I incorporated into the blog. And then
Okay.
one day I woke up, I said, fashion blogging is not for me. I'm not that kind of person who likes to display myself and say, hey, look at me, look at me. It's just not me, right? So I just one day woke up and I just went full blown, started talking only about entertainment, and I pulled myself out. I never posted another picture of myself again. And
Uh,
that's how it took place. I would have to give credit to a few people though. Yefon Mensa, who has I Rep Camera, she was very good in
Thank you.
promoting my
Thank you for that.
stuff.
I was gonna
Yeah.
talk about her.
Yeah, she was there before I started. And then there
Exactly.
was another blogger called Mode Maison PR. She used to do PR for Stanley and all. Those were the people that I knew who were blogging. And then I would never forget Next
Yeah.
Time and Tip Top Stars. They were the only at the time that I knew entertainment blogs that were existing when I was doing
Wow.
my research. So
And
that's
they are
how I
still
got my
standing.
info. Next Time and Tip Top. Yep. So that's why
Yeah.
whenever I see Next Time, I really give it to him because people don't realize he's one of the first, actually, you know.
Wow.
And then there's this other guy called Julio Barton. He played a big role in promoting the Hot Gem. He used to always share, and he had a lot of followers because he was
Wow.
part of the Obama campaign. So he had so many followers. So he used to share my blog all the time, and that's how I think I got traction. Yeah.
Okay. Wow,
So
that's
that's where I
nice. It's good
started.
to,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
one thing that I always say here, and I said it the last time that the Shanzi baby we had the artist. I love when people give credit to people that were before them,
Oh,
because we have a
absolutely. Yes.
mentality where people think that when somebody is doing
Yeah,
something, it's bad
when
for
you're
another
when
person
you're
to do
doing
it.
good now,
Yeah.
they think you created blogging. You know, like of course, in every era, you'll have people that will pop up and get lucky to become successful more than the people who laid the foundation. But
Yeah.
you have to always give credit to the people that started, right? I would never
Exactly.
lie and say I was the first. Somebody said, "Oh, Mbole is the first." I said, "Nope." Next Time was already blogging and posting
Yeah.
actively on the website. That's where I used to go and look at information with Tip
Oh
Top
wow,
Star,
that's
which
good.
is owned by Ernest Kanjo, who's a journalist, and then I Rep Camera and these other little blogs. Even
Yeah.
this other one, Glow by Mona, they were also around too.
They're
So I
already
used
around.
to,
Okay.
yep. So I
Wow,
used to
that's
go
good.
on those
When,
blogs.
yeah, that's good. When before, well, for like you said, I read Cameroon, right? She was the first blogger that I came across. Like the person
Right.
that I heard blogging from, she was the first. I went
Yes.
online and I Googled what is blogging. After hearing it from her, I saw her on, honestly, I
Yes.
like to tell my truth. I
Yes.
went online and I Googled what is blogging. Then I read it and then I followed her. Once I followed her, I read, that was how I met you, through her. So once I
Right.
followed her, I saw you amongst her friends and then we connected. Then I liked what you were doing. She was doing lifestyle blogging, posting,
I was
doing
yes.
different.
It's
She was even
lifestyle.
showing
Yep.
up, showing like showcasing Cameroon. She would
Oh
go to like
yes.
a place
Yes.
and say, "Oh, this
Yep.
is available in Cameroon," la, la, la,
Yes.
to show it.
Yep.
But then when I started getting interested in promoting people, I was more interested in showbiz. So then I
Yes.
followed you because you were starting with fashion, and then I realized that you were mixing entertainment with it. So that was why I navigated towards you, because
He won't let me go till I carry
Mbole
him.
baby. So I beg for America picking a dog na picking no, and Mbole baby that. But to calm
No,
down, we are smart
I know
mouths.
how to do it.
No, let
I
him
know how
bring
to
it
do
on.
it. You got to Cameroon.
I know say you forget what this starts, you talk.
We
I
have
know
a
how to
dog
do
in
it. You
Cameroon.
got to Cameroon.
Una no get that kind of posh dog there for Cameroon. Again, a bingo the way they back woo woo woo. Tell these people there.
Oh,
I
Okay,
don't want to talk
like
to
I
you
was
about
saying
dog
before
though.
the posh dog interrupted us.
yes.
Yifan
Sorry.
was the first person that I heard blogging from. Then I went to Bole, and then
Yes.
Bole introduced me into it and got me
Yep.
in full swing. So before we continue, Bole, I have a few people that just joined and they are saying hi. Let me go ahead and tell you the
Hi.
people that are here. We have
Sure.
Tabo Lucy. Thank you, Lucy, for joining. Onela is our very faithful follower and active
Oh,
sharer. Thank you for joining.
hi,
360 Blog
Ornella.
Africa. Thank you. Who ransom?
Oh,
I really to say. Now, man, any man in man, the can be man. Since we study show ransom. Now the first
oh,
time you say ransom
ransom.
the
I
camp.
met ransom in Cameroon. I think it's the
Now
same
Mbole
one.
in person. Okay,
Yes,
ransom,
I saw.
welcome.
I
Thank
met
you for
ransom in Cameroon.
joining.
Yeah,
We have
he's a strong
Marilyn
Jovi
from
fan.
Canada. You know Marilyn from Canada. Thank you for joining, sis. Thank you. And then we have Dr. Joy Bird. Dr. Joy Bird, I beg start ready before you to the
Joybird.
camp here. Even Lucy, you are coming to tell us how to
Wow,
watch our weight, sis.
Joybird.
So get ready for us. We'll bring you at some point. Thank you, our Amy Bride. She does fashion designing in Cameroon as well. So she's also going to be one of our future guests. So thank you all so much for
Waiting.
watching. Thank you, Heman Ngole. Oh, thank you,
Herman.
Ganuela.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, we have a lot of people watching today. Mbole, you be star.
Oh,
Oh, see as you bring me
and
kakia.
I know so many of them. Like Joybird has been avoiding me in this US. He comes, and every time
Joy
I
Bird,
go to
why are you
Houston,
avoiding Mbole?
mhm,
Come here.
he goes to Houston when I'm in Dallas. He comes to Dallas when I'm in Houston. Somehow he always avoids me, but I must find him. Hey, Joybird. And then
Okay, all right.
Herman.
So
Yes,
Pancho, you
Herman.
want to take the next question? I beg no talk about accent again.
Yeah,
Oh, that dog.
I'm okay with the accent. At least
Huh?
we have to be switching it up. I can be talking to the
Yes.
pigeon and all that.
Of
This more
course, speak to
mixed
pigeon.
day, hardcore day. So
Pancho, they ever going to the left, to the left, where all money go to the right.
it's been an honor for me. Some of us also came and met Mbole. She's been here, and most of the time I write articles and like good. She'll even come inbox sometime and tell me like, I love this stuff that you wrote, like it was really good. And then
Yeah.
like she kind of appreciates it, and it kind of motivated me to move forward. There are the people that actually started all of this. And today we have a whole lot of bloggers making millions in a month and all of that. And it's not just about this creation about maybe writing on pages, but she's talking more of like websites, like people who have actually been writing, but that are not maybe really not on the surface of Facebook like that much, but they have been behind the scenes, like putting a lot of work. You see, so sometimes I believe that it's things like this that make people to know where the journey actually started, and I'm very happy to have her once more
Thank
here.
you.
And so the next question I'm going to ask her is like, what has been your secret? Like, what has kept you all this while? Like, what has kept you here this long? Like, what can you say? What can you say has been your secret?
Um, I would say I'm a very resilient person, and I know that things don't happen overnight. I'm a very patient person. Don't get me wrong,
Okay.
there've been so many times that I've wanted to give up, but I've been so blessed to have people around me when I feel like I'm done. I mean, there've been times that I've said I'm done, and I would not even post on Instagram for like a month because I'm like, all right, I'm done, because it gets very frustrating. But I
Yeah.
think overall, the people that always get me back are the people that reach out. Like I remember Pancho, you reached out to me one time to say hello. And I hadn't been online. I don't think if you realized at the time I was sort of MIA for a little bit, and you reached out to me to see how I was doing. And that alone made me
Yeah.
feel so good. And then I remember coming back on the page and I noticed you guys were active. And I'm like, you know what? I need to get back on top of this. If Glad, I know you guys also went through a lot of issues with your page, restrictions and stuff like that. And I'm like, if they're keeping on, then I need to also be able to keep on. I can't give up. And then when I look back at how much work I've done, how much we've impacted people in one way or the other. I mean, there are so many people that I know who started blogging because they said they spoke to me and I didn't even know that. I just said, if I give up, then what example am I going to give them? I mean, if I'm having a hard time and I have a bit more resources to run it, then what about those who are just barely making it and just trying to pull through? So those are the things that keep me. And I'm so lucky, like my whole family. including my parents, they're right behind me. They're always asking, Bole, how's the hot gem? How's the hot gem? And I feel embarrassed if I say, oh, I haven't been posting. And they'll start saying, but what's going on? So that also helps to motivate me. And also, I look at stories. One thing with me is I don't just focus only on what I'm doing. I look at other success stories that started around when I started that were almost the same as me and where they are now. And I look at their journey because a lot of them are successful and they do interviews. And I realized that they also went through a lot of hurdles. It wasn't like, oh, somebody discovered them and paid them millions to get them there. So I understand that for you to get to the gold, you have to go through the mine. For you to get to the
Yeah.
rose, you have to go through the thorns. So if you can get through the worst part of it, which I think we have, then the rest is just strategizing. Right now, for me, the way I'm handling everything is not business. That time of just playing around, trying things, trial and error is over. Now it's all about business. So I've moved
Wow.
that part where it's like we're just trying, trying, trying. We want to please this crowd or please that crowd or worry about what people are saying if you don't attract such a crowd. And we're not there anymore. We already know who we're attracting, who we're targeting, and where we want to go. And this is
Okay.
after 10 years, imagine. Yeah.
Wow, wow.
So,
Congratulations on that, sis. You're right about that support system. Honestly, you cannot
yes.
do it alone. When people say, oh, I can do bad all by myself, I'm like, nope, you
No, you
can't,
can't. You
because
can't.
there's no way
Yeah.
anybody on earth is
Yeah.
self-made. You have
Yes.
people that support you. I always say, even if it's just one person, like
Yeah.
me right now, my one person is Pancho that I count on. I depend on him. Sometimes I even quarrel with him just because I need him
Yeah.
to come and do what I have to do for Glam Media.
Right.
Even this morning, like we had an argument because I'm like, where are you? The guests cannot come and wait for you, you
Oh,
know? So
yeah.
for me, if you have that one person that you can count on, that kind, yes, Pancho, I will throw you under the bus.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The next
You're
time,
right.
be late. If you
Yeah.
have that one person, talk less of your entire family. I have my sister. My sister calls me Oprah. I'm like, no, sister Leah Beko, I not be Oprah. But
Claim it,
that is
my
her own
dear.
way of
Claim it.
pushing me because she's
Yes.
like, I'm very proud of you.
No.
I like what you do. I'm happy with your
Glam
show and
Queen,
everything.
can I say something? I think one thing with you that I realize is that you tend to downplay yourself, right? Claim it. If she thinks you're Oprah, you're Oprah. There are people who are Oprah that are not doing anything. You know what I mean? Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Yes, no.
Well, you know
Claim
me
it.
about that. No, you know as
Yes.
about ranting them.
I mean, it does not make you not humble. It's a way, it's like an affirmation. You're Oprah, but nobody said that you are Oprah. It just means that I want to be as good as Oprah. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So if somebody tells you that, claim it. My goodness, you're doing a lot.
Willow.
You, you're doing a lot.
Okay, sis,
Yes.
thank you. I'm trying.
Yes. And one of the people also, again, I forgot to even mention Benoit. Of course, Benoit is a big part of what I do. I mean, there've been
Yeah.
so many times that I've given up and I'm like, Benoit, he just jumps in. He knows when to jump in, especially when he sees my energy is low. You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
And then he'll say, boss, don't worry about it. This is just a little hurdle. We're not gonna be at this. We'll work on it. So he's a big part as well. I can't
Yeah.
even not mention him. Yes.
Actually,
Yes.
we're
Shout
coming
out
to
to
that. I was going
Benoit.
to ask you, yeah, we're going to ask you about your team, like the people you work with at the HotJem, who they are, and how they motivate you,
Yes.
or how you met them, and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
that was the next question, actually. Thank you
Yeah.
for jumping into it.
Oh no, no worries. So I work with Benoit. Benoit is like my lead everything. He's me in Cameroon. You know what I mean? He's my country manager, lead content manager. I met Benoit through Eric Banav, who is another person who is into the entertainment industry, but he's kind of like behind the scenes. I've known Eric since maybe for years, right? And we've been talking online for so long.
Yeah,
And because he loved what I was doing and he could see where I was going. I wasn't just trying to blog for popularity. I don't need that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Popularity doesn't pay me. I had a different vision of something else that I wanted to do. So he would always tell me, Bole, you need writers. You cannot write on your own. There's just too much to do. You have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, you have the website. You need to have more writers. And unfortunately, I did have writers, but they were just not reliable.
yeah,
It's like they're your boss. You know what I mean? So I said, no, this is not going to happen. So he said, don't worry, I'll be on the lookout. If I see somebody who's responsible, I will get back to you. And then one day he was on a live talking about the industry, and Benoit happened to be watching. And I think he had told Benoit to reach out to me, but maybe Benoit didn't. So another time he came back on the live, and Benoit and I were on again. And he's like, Benoit, have you reached out to Mbole? Reach out to her now. And the next minute, I get a message from Benoit introducing himself. And the reason why I just liked him was the way that he came to me. He was just humble, and you could tell that this was somebody who was smart. He was humble, and there's just something about the way he uses his words that just makes you like him, you know. And as we started talking, something, I think when somebody's meant to be is meant to be. I just felt the click, the connection,
The
and
connection,
immediately
yeah.
we just started working. And I won't lie, it's been since 2019. So Benoit is doing 5 years. So I think we
Yeah.
need to celebrate that 5th year anniversary,
Wow,
because
that's a
I'm
milestone. That's a
sorry,
milestone
I
right there.
don't know any
We'll bring
Cameroonian.
Benoit. Benoit
Yes.
will come on, but not
Yeah.
today. I told him, I said, today is all
Benjamin.
about your boss, honey. So you
Oh,
wait your turn.
yeah. I'm just so proud that Benoit has stood the test of time, because there've been many times that Benoit could have left. You know what I
Of
mean?
course, of
And
course.
human beings being as conniving as they are, even people that are close to me have tried to take him away behind my back. And it's nothing wrong with him going somewhere else. But if you're cool with me, just tell me that you want
Tell you
him, because you,
exactly.
yes, Benoit's a grown up. He will make his own decision, right? And that's why I
Exactly.
feel like you should not burn your bridges, because you just never know where people will meet you. I've told Benoit to go work with other people to help them. I had a friend who needed help to do something in their company, and I really saw he was desperate. So I talked to Benoit. I said, Benoit, man, and Benoit was, he kind of knew about it. And he
Yes.
said, okay, he will do it temporarily. That's how we are.
That's
I
how,
will
yeah.
never limit him, because I know the hustle is real. You know, I wish I could pay him 10 million francs every month, but I can't. So he has to also hustle to make the money
Exactly.
as well. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, I mean, we have a really good relationship. And Benoit is more like family for me now. He's met my
Yeah.
aunts and
Yeah.
everybody, my mom. He knows my whole family now.
Your whole
Yeah.
family. Yeah. I see him. Sometimes he posts your sisters on their birthday. I'm like, okay,
Yes,
family
yes,
member. Okay, Benoit
yes.
Ekaney. Like I
I
just
know, that's his last
stress.
name. He can't. He didn't tell you that, but that. Yeah.
Can okay,
Yes.
but I really appreciate people who appreciate people that work for them, because like me, when I started Glam
Oh,
Media,
yes.
I was doing it alone, and then I had a team at some point, but then I had to let go of the team because I had a lot of issues at the time. Then
Yes.
Pancho now came on at that moment when I was letting go of the team, and he
Yes.
stayed with me. So Pancho has
Yes.
been my team for the past 3 years, like ever
Yes.
since 2021. So he's the only person that I know now on Glam Media. He's the only person that I
Right.
can talk to and I
Because
can,
he has been loyal to
communicate
you.
with.
And this is the problem I have with Cameroonians. And I'm sorry, I have to call my people out, which is why
Yeah.
I'm branching out to other countries. Young Cameroonians are not loyal. They want things so quickly. They don't understand what your journey was before they even came in the picture. Because if it was so easy, then they would not be working for you, because they could fund their own lives, right?
Yes.
This is the
Yes.
same. This is the same trend we see even in the music industry, where artists are signed, they're super excited, and then when they leave, they want to insult the people that actually help them. When
Actually help them.
if
Exactly.
you didn't need the help, then you wouldn't have been signed. So
Exactly.
even if, unless that person really did some really bad things to you, that is just out of your ethics, there's no reason for you to be insulting your previous manager or leaving in bad standing. And there's something called loyalty. When you're loyal to somebody, it means you have to sacrifice. You can sometimes work. I've done work for people. I've gone, look, in my jobs, right? The reason why I
Yes.
have, every time I've left the company, and I'm saying this on record because it's true, I've always left with a good relationship with my managers. They're usually my
Because
reference
you don't
because,
burn bridges.
yes,
Exactly.
I know what I mean. They know you have to grow eventually and you would leave at some point, but I make sure that I leave in good terms as much as I can, because you just
Perfect.
never know where you will meet them, right? And
Exactly.
that's the
Thank
same
you.
thing with our youth. Imagine if,
Tomorrow
let's
is
say,
pregnant.
yes, if let's say for some reason I'm not able to pay my, I have two writers, and I'll give a shout out to the other one now. His name is Boris, and I don't know if he wants me to give his full name, but his name is Boris. He just joined the team about 6 months ago, and he's doing an amazing job as well.
Mm.
Yes, but I think I could kind of vouch for Benoit that if, God forbid, I wasn't able to pay them like for a month or two, Benoit
Yes.
would probably still just continue working, because of, he looks at the bigger picture, and he
Exactly.
looks at all the other things that I've done. It's not just that payment, because our youth take things at face value. They're all about
Yeah.
money, 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 money. Then the
Yeah.
one time the money is not there, they jump to the next thing, but the grass is not greener on the other side.
On the
We
other
need to
side.
be able
Thank you.
to be patient. We need to be loyal, because it's not the money that will get you from point A to B, it's the loyalty. Do
The
you understand
loyalty.
what I'm saying?
Yes.
A
Yes.
lot
Yes.
has
Yes.
happened for me because I've been very loyal to people. no matter
Yes.
what. That is the key. And that's the issue we have. When I started blogging, of course I employed other youths who I thought that, they came out of college, they didn't have jobs. I
Exactly.
paid for
They'll
their
stay
internet. I paid even for their internet. And all of a sudden somebody else comes to them with maybe 5,000 francs more. Oh, they're
more than
making
what
way
you're
more
giving them,
money.
and they jump
Yes.
ships.
Yes. But where are they now? After they left me, none of them are doing anything for themselves for the most
Oh,
part. Maybe just one even is managing. It's fine. All of them are just there. One of them even reached out to me. I said, "Hey, please." I said, "Nope." I said,
no.
"The way you left, I'm
Once
sorry.
you're
I'm a
gone, you're
nice
gone, honey.
person. I'm not
Yep.
doing it. You
We
should have
don't do
thought
that
about
here.
that."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sis. Thank you
So
so much. All right. Pancho, do you want to read some of the questions in the comment section? We have question from Gangnoela. We have question from Joybet. Just scroll up. You
Uh,
see a question from Noella. You can take that, and then I'll do the one from Joybet, and then we'll go ahead. And I have a question. We have more questions about the magazine. Today is all about Mbole. Telling you, we won't tell
oh,
you guys everything that she's doing. So you guys, everything the whole day today is all about Mbole, talking about Mbole, and her hot gem stuff.
I'm so
So you guys,
honored. I'm
because we
so
still have to
honored.
get to, this is the hot gem. This session is just the hot gem. We still have to get to Mbole Ekaney, the public
Oh.
figure, because she also has something that she does by herself aside from the hot gem. So she'll tell us about that later on in the show. So Pancho, when you get the questions, you let me know.
okay.
I think I see a question from
From
Jober
Noella.
and from um
Noella was the one that had the first question. Pancho, do you see it?
Jober.
The question I can see here is from Noella.
Yes.
Yeah, Noella says, what has been your challenging moment in blogging, given the fact that you don't do the dragging blogging style of this century? How do you navigate it? Maybe I should
Oh
let you
yeah,
through
good
again.
question. And hi, Noella. She's another person who has really supported the blog a lot. Thank you for your support, my dear. She's been there for quite a long time. She has her own page as well. But it's challenging because we're in a era of dragging. If you notice, everything that we see in the at least Cameroonian atmosphere online is dragging, 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 dragging. Yes. And a lot of times some of us
Exhausting.
choose, yeah. If I'm sure you've noticed, I have not had a voice on anything. I've not said anything about anything that's going on, whether it's who's trying to play music in Nigeria or who's not, and all that. Nah,
Yes. Yes.
because for me, I'm so ahead of that mentality. I mean, one, I lived in the United States for most of my life, so it's very normal that I would listen to other songs. In fact, I think I even did too much, doing so much research trying to promote Cameroonians. And for me, if people suddenly judge me because the Hot Gem is now focused on Pan Africa, not only Cameroon, then you know what? You can go to sleep and unfollow us because I don't care. You know why I don't care? Because the Hot Gem was primarily promoting Cameroonians and artists from 2014 through maybe even 2020,
Yeah.
21. It's just recently that we decided to go back to what I originally had planned, Pan
Clan. Yeah.
African. And it's because it's a business thought. I know what I'm doing. We have the magazine and we want everything to align. So if people feel like they can insult us because they think, oh, we're trying to please Chad, Nigeria, and all that, I could care less. I'm not in anybody's agenda. I'm not, first of all, none of those people who are making all that noise supported us. So they have no
Exactly.
say in what we do. Whatever the Hot Gem does is what we decided to do, and we have a
Exactly.
business aspect of it. So if you're not putting money into funding my writers or paying for my content writers or anything, you have no say in what I have to do with the Hot Gem. You can
Exactly.
comment, but it's going from one ear and coming out. So it's very
For real.
difficult navigating in a society where everything is only gossip. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes we also get in the gossip, but we have our own limit. We try not to get very dirty, 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 right? We
Yeah.
get into some of it to a certain
Yeah.
extent, but we try to not get into that hardcore. So we
The
really
negative,
focus
too negative side.
more
Yeah.
on the lifestyle and pop culture. And when you say pop culture is really talking about anything that is trending right now. So if they're talking about artists singing in another country, we'll talk about it. If they're talking about people doing things outside of their marriage, we will talk about it. But what we won't do is we're not going to be exposing people's nudes and stuff like that. We'll never do stuff like that. You
Okay.
understand? We don't
That's
go
good,
to that
sis.
extreme. Yes. So
That's
it's
good. I
difficult.
applaud you for
Yeah.
that. I
It's
applaud you for
very
that.
difficult to navigate in this era, Noella, because most people like gossip. And I'm sorry, if you look at all the blogs now that are doing well, they're the blogs that are gossip bloggers. So some of us who are trying to have a bit more of a better outlook and a different outlook, we don't get that traction. I would be surprised if we get 10 likes on a post because we're not talking about gossip. But the moment we jump on the gossip topic, that's when everybody starts liking. So you guys are the problem, not us, because you all say you don't want gossip, but yet who is following the gossip? The blogs are not following themselves. It's
Exactly.
people. You guys
Yeah.
could see gossip and say, "Oh, Cameroon bloggers, that's all you talk about." But in the process of you commenting under that gossip blog, you're giving them traction. You should be
Exactly.
commenting under the
And they'll
blogs
keep
that
doing
you
it.
would like to see.
Yep.
Yes. So that's why when I see people complaining, "Oh, 237 bloggers, all you like is gossip," and they're doing it on the gossip blog, I just laugh because I'm like, you're the problem, not the blog.
Yeah, that's funny. It's funny because those of us who do the positive blogging, we don't see those people. They don't come to our blogs. They don't
Oh, they
support us.
never
Even
do.
the
They
people
never
that we
do.
promote,
Yes.
even the people that we
Yeah.
promote and support,
Oh,
how many of them come back to
don't
support
even
us?
get to don't
Not, I'm
even
not
talk
even saying
about
come
that.
to thank
Yeah.
us. Like how many of them will come and share posts that
Oh,
we make about them,
it's
or
never gonna happen.
follow the
No, it's
blogs and
not.
stuff like that. So it's
They are
crazy.
Don Jazzy status. Why would they share your blog? All our artists are Don Jazzy status, and all the art. Every entertainer and blogger is a big time celebrity. In fact, they go out with Beyonce and they hang out with Beyonce. So why would they be sharing our stuff? Even bloggers now are like celebrities. I mean,
Mbole
I
gets
yeah,
more mom to
no. No, because no, but let's talk about it because we're being real, right? Even bloggers now are Beyonce. Like they are too
Yeah.
big for anything. It's
Yes,
like they've
so I'm
lost,
and Jay
yes,
Z and
they've
Drake.
lost sight of what they came to do originally. I get that you want to grow your brand, but you are not. I mean, you want to grow your brand, but you want to act also like you're some Samuel Eto'o. I mean, come on now. You know where your roots came from. You know what I mean? And there's this new thing where now
Yeah.
all bloggers have abandoned their blogs and they built themselves up and everything else has gone, and there's this little clique now of the, I guess, the top bloggers in Cameroon that only share their own things and specific things among themselves. So you know what, do what you have to do. That's fine. We all do what we have to do. As long as
Yeah,
it pays you, by all means, continue doing what you have to do. But don't think that because we don't say anything, we don't notice what goes on. We notice. It's just that I don't have time. My time is my money. So if I'm going
exactly.
to do something, know that it's going to benefit me. I don't really have time to worry about what they're doing, to be honest with you.
That's true. One thing that I learned from Eric, right? When I started blogging, promoting, actually, I started promoting. Eric was the one that I motivated me to promote. So when I started promoting, I always got discouraged because sometimes when I promote people, they will not even act as if they're seeing it. And then there are people that will actually come to you and even try to correct you, and they'll be like, "Oh, you forgot to add CEO to my name," like little things like that. I'm like, you
Yeah,
don't even appreciate the fact that
yeah,
I shared your post. You want to tell me what to write or how to
yeah,
write it. I write what I see. I write.
yeah.
My goal is to
Right,
tell people that Mbole is selling this magazine. Go and contact Mbole for this magazine. I don't. My mission is not to tell people that Mbole is the founder or whatever. If
right.
I remember to write that, I'll write that. But if I can say that, please go and buy this magazine from Mbole, that's something that I think that would be beneficial to you than telling people that Mbole is the one that founded the magazine. So I always got discouraged, and I told Eric, I was like, this thing is too stressful. Cameroonians are too
Right,
difficult to deal with. I'm not able. I can't
right.
do this no more.
Yeah,
Then he kept encouraging me. He said, you know what? Stick to your positive blogging. That is your niche. Don't worry about gossip blogging. Don't worry about all these negative people.
yeah,
Just continue doing what you're doing. So he made me understand that even if it's just one person that is
yes,
coming to your blog and appreciating what you write, trust me, you're touching a life. So don't worry about,
absolutely. Yeah,
because I was telling him that we spend a lot of energy to promote people and do positive blogging, but all of them are always on the negative blogs. Like there are
yeah,
artists that will go and comment when they say something bad about them, but they will come to a blog that is writing articles upon articles, sharing
yeah.
their stuff, and they will not say anything. They
Oh
will not
yeah,
even share it.
yeah,
But you will
yeah,
see them on another blog arguing with the bloggers
yeah,
about
yeah,
something negative that
yeah.
they wrote.
Or
So
they
he told
have
me
their
just
favorite
focus on your
blogs.
blog, forget
Yeah.
about those artists. They
Yeah,
will
and they
never
have their
appreciate you.
blogs. They have
Yeah.
their favorite blogs. Like I know some artists who, no matter how many times you blog about them, they will never comment, but they will cut. Like I've had a scenario where we wrote a long post about somebody, an artist, and the artist had the nerve, and it's a female artist, had the nerve to come to the page and say, "Oh, I will share it to my page." And I'm thinking, do you have to tell us that? You can just share. What are you leaving a comment saying that I will share it? And the person never shared it. But then it just happened that that particular blog had that particular artist had page managers that were managing their page, and the page managers also had their own blog. So they copied that article, put it on their blog, and then that's when that artist now took that same article and shared it to our page from another blog, even though they gave us the credit, but you didn't share it from our blog.
Share it from your blog,
Yes.
yeah.
Very shady. And I noticed all those things, just like another blogger that I gave business to one time took a post that we did, the Hot Gem. We were the only ones who had that picture because I got it from the direct source. We
Yes.
posted it and they cut off our logo, posted it on their page, a very popular blog. Very, very popular. They posted it on their page and then
Lord.
put their bold logo over it. So I had to reach out to the person. I said, excuse me, ma'am. I'm the only person who had that picture. Please give me credit or just remove it. And
Wow.
the only reason why I did that, I don't mind. There've been many blogs that don't give us credit, and that's okay. Things happen. But because that particular blog, we just gave you business. And you know that I'm the one who has that blog. I'm the one who paid you for a client. I recommended you. They didn't even know about you at the
Shady.
time. And then now you take a picture with our logo that
And
I
crop it
run
out.
and you crop it out. I
That's
said,
bad.
wow.
That's bad.
Again,
I don't know why our people
another
do things like
female.
that.
Again, another female. Always the females. Yep. Always the
That is really
females.
bad. That's not nice. Well,
Yep.
let's go ahead and read some comments from some of your faithful followers. Oh, Heman Gole, thank you. Gangnuela, loyalty and respect, thank you. Let me read you the question from Joybed, right? He said,
Yeah.
what okay, he said the concept of the Hot Gem magazine is amazing. Okay, all right. So before I ask you this question, let's get into the magazine. Let's talk about the magazine because this question is about the magazine. So I'll ask you how you got to writing the Hot Gem magazine. So then you follow it up with this question that says the concept of the Hot Gem magazine is amazing. What are the next plans of the project and where do you see it in 10 years? So tell us everything about the Hot Gem magazine now.
Joker had to bring in a business question. Okay. So the Hot Gem magazine is something that I always wanted to start my own magazine. Even before I knew that I was going to do a blog, I knew that I was going to do a magazine. But then when I thought about it, I said to myself, I like the name The Hot Gem. So if I start a blog, hi, maybe that would help to put the name out there so that when I do launch a product, which is the magazine, I already kind of have a name among like a particular community of people. So the Hot Gem is just something that I always wanted to do. I always felt like I wanted to have a lifestyle magazine that focused on Blacks and Africans in particular, So that's how that started. I have about 12 writers right now. Not all of them were featured in this issue, but I have 12 standby writers that I'm writing for even the other issue. Joe Berg actually is one of my writers. He's the business writer. He writes about business and entrepreneurship. So he's sort of like a recurring writer. I'm going to reach out to him again within the next month. It's a Pan-African magazine that talks about entertainment, business, technology, lifestyle, and it's really for the modern African, particularly for that African that thinks outside of the box, like you, Pancho. You can live in Cameroon, but doesn't make you that typical African. You have a modern mentality. You're very innovative. That magazine is for you
Yeah.
guys. Yes. Where do I see it in 10 years? I mean, honestly, I want it to be distributed in the United States and I want it to be distributed in key countries. I definitely want to have a French version. I'm talking with somebody. It's taking a little bit longer because it's a bit more logistics. But yeah, I want it to be in French and English. And my goal is for it to be like one of the main magazines among Africans in the diaspora, particularly in the United States. And I definitely would love it to be sold in Africa as well. Cameroon, Nigeria, Ghana. If it's in French, I want it to be in Ivory Coast and Senegal and South Africa, those key places. Yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
a big
That's
dream
really
and big
my
project.
baby.
And
It's
I
my
trust
baby.
you, sis. I know that you will realize that dream. I trust you. Please don't forget me.
Amen.
Oh, when you want to go to Senegal and other places, come
Amen.
and take me. Let's go, Mama. I want to
And
go
I
to
was
Senegal.
supposed to go last year, but they pushed
I
it. So
want to
I'll
travel.
next
Oh,
year.
my
Yeah.
God, do vacation.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's a
See the
lot
way.
of
I'll be
work. I'm
working on
not
my
gonna lie, it's
passport.
a lot of work, right?
Pancho, you
And
come with me for Senegal.
I'll be working on my passport.
Bam, like that. See Mr. Leo, see how Mr. Leo shine. And you know what? I'm sorry to say it. I can bet you that all these Cameroonian businesses and talents that were listed in this magazine, not up to half of them even bought the magazine or even contacted her or even said, "Sis, we saw the magazine," or even shared it. because I know my people.
Yeah.
I know Una.
Okay. So
I know.
I would give a shout out to Afrique Style. Afrique Style he bought all the magazines that Benoit had available, probably like 7 or 8, and he wanted to buy more.
Wow.
So he bought. Yes, he bought on the spot. If Benoit had 15, he would have bought all 15. So shout out to Afrique Style. They bought Fit Girl. She also bought. She did an ad in there. And then I won't lie. I don't know if the person who we featured on the cover even shared it on their platform, but if anybody has
Una
seen
see
it, let
content
me
for
know.
magazine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me know if Mr. Leo has shared it on his platform because I haven't seen it, but I don't expect anything and I never did. It wasn't based on him sharing. We were doing it because we wanted to. I'm a Cameroonian. I wanted the first feature to be Cameroonian. So when I start branching out of Cameroon and I stop featuring Cameroonians, they shouldn't say that we're not
Bravo.
supporting our own because they don't support us. People don't support us. We just do what we have to do based on what we need to do.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Are you people see the content of this magazine? It has African businesses and talent. It has all that's
in
Africa. I see
fact, let them buy it
edited.
so they can see the full magazine. I need you guys to support, I mean, just because you're in Cameroon does not mean you
Sis, you
can't
know
buy.
me.
Yes,
You know
you
me.
can
I live
buy,
for things like this.
you know.
You know me.
See, like
Yeah.
The African style.
the quality, the graphics are all amazing.
The,
Like I remember,
Pancho, you
I
remember
received a
that you got
copy.
this magazine? You wrote a review on this magazine, right? Remember when the magazine came out, you got it from
It's so
Uven. We
beautiful.
got the Glam Media copy from Uven, and
I
Pancho
think
wrote a review
I know.
about
No,
it.
there were some blogs that promoted it, and I think I tried to comment to whatever tag I saw. If I didn't comment, I did not see the tag. I'm
Yeah,
very particular
I
on
did
not
a
tagging.
review. I did a review of the magazine when I received it, read, and it was really beautiful. Like even the images when you start turning the pages
The
sometimes.
quality is
Just
amazing.
yeah,
Thank you, my
quality
You
king.
is
know.
like
Yeah. Thank
so
you, my
top
king.
notch.
Yeah. Yeah.
It and then what the one thing I noticed in the magazine, it covers every topic in life, from mental health to regular health and fitness to marriages to love to their love stories inside
Yeah.
their businesses. It's a whole lifestyle magazine. Like
Yeah.
it has a lot of content. I
Yeah.
don't
And
even know if I'm
yeah.
going to be able to show
Yeah.
everything, but I
Yeah.
think for the most part people have seen it. This is
Yeah.
the HotJem magazine. This was just the first edition,
And
and they are still going to
we're
come up with
working.
more.
Yeah.
And like she said, she'll extend across Africa and she'll be doing more stuff.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
I beg if una Miss Seba will show up for magazine one day. Oh. One day I'll be in this magazine.
No, absolutely. And I know that we had a slow start in terms of the first issue because we're still, I mean, the funny thing is I sold all the copies I had and I had to order more. So the reason why it took a long time to issue the next one is because when you start something, you're so ambitious, you're like, I'm gonna do this. Then when we put it out there, I started talking more to people that are in the publishing industry and people that are into this type of thing. And many of them said, Mbole, don't rush just because you want to have numbers. I know you see people putting second issue, third issue, but they don't have a business plan. You want to make money from it. Take your time and do your market research. And I think what we did before, I did not do extensive research. So this time I actually took about 12 months sending surveys out to people, going to so many of the African stores in Dallas, in the DMV, the Dallas Fort Worth area, talking to people, writing down what people expect from magazines, what is the price that they're willing to pay for subscriptions and stuff. So I decided that, you know what, I'm not going to rush because one thing about me is I'm a perfectionist. When I'm going to put something out there, especially because it represents Cameroon, I want people to be able to say, oh my God. And that's the reaction I want.
Okay.
It's not perfect. It still can get better. There are things we can improve, but at least I want my people, Africans and Cameroonians, to be proud when they see it. I mean, you can put this magazine by an Essence and Ebony magazine, and they'll
Even
be like,
Ebony, yep,
yes,
yep, yep.
yes, because I follow
Exactly.
Essence. They
When
are my
See, so
when
motivation.
you
I'm on
want
way, Maggie, una good
see
news. So I
the
beg my
thing,
heart, oh, I'll die, oh, I'll die, oh, my God. Okay, so everybody who has heard me talk about my Glam Media show, this Glam Media talk show, and Pancho was one of the people that was telling me that boss more will get there. My goal has always been when we come to promote somebody that has a product, you bring the product and we showcase it, and then we plead with our audience to buy.
Right.
So we have people in the audience that are asking where they can buy the hot gem.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I
Oh, my
appreciate it.
professional.
Yeah.
My behave myself.
Oh my God, you're so sweet. Thank you, Glad Media. But you see, and you tell me that you're not Oprah.
Sis, I have Pacho, today about today a good day. You're not good. I already have two people. I have my friend Lucia. Thank you so much, Mom
Oh,
Benji
thank you,
Lucia.
my dear.
Thank you for
Thank
watching.
you.
She's a friend of mine. She's a pharmacist. She
Oh,
has like
thank
two
you.
books that she's written. She's a TED,
Yes.
those TEDx talk show people. Like
Oh,
she's that, yeah. So
and that's
I'll
my
bring her on the
goal.
show too
That's
one
my
day. And
goal. Yep. If you look
yeah,
at
so
my
she wants to buy the
Instagram, yes.
magazine. I have Tabo Lucy who is also asking where she can buy the magazine.
Oh, thank you so much,
Hey,
Camo.
I'm so excited.
Thank
I
you.
think
I
I have somebody
appreciate
from
you guys.
Cameroon
Yes.
asking how they can buy as well.
Yes,
So
I
I
can
think you
direct
guys
them.
see, can they reach out to you or Yuven? I think, right?
Yes, I mean, I think Juven should have a few more. I will ask him, but he should have a few more in with him, and then there's some in Yaoundé. Yes,
Okay, Riley from Cameroon is asking how much is the magazine.
in the U.S. it's 9.99 plus shipment. In Cameroon, it's 5,000.
In Cameroon, it's 5,000. In America,
Yes,
it's 9.99. So only $10. Okay, sis. Because of that, do you have the magazine with you? Like, do you have some copies with you
I
at
do.
home?
I do. I have. I
Okay.
have to. Yes, because I do.
Okay.
I
So we
do.
have
I
people that.
market. Yes.
Okay, I have two people that out. I think Tabor Lucy and Lucia Formuso.
Thank you.
They'll.
Thank
I'll
you.
talk. I don't have Lucy's number, but I have Formuso's number. So, um, my sister Lucy, I think you can contact Mbole directly because she lives in Europe though. So you ship it over there to her?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, she lives in Europe, but you know her, right? Tabor Lucy. She's a health coach, health
I've
fitness.
seen her name before. Yes, I've seen
Yes.
her name
Okay.
before. Yes.
Anyway, I'll talk with her and then get back to you about that. And
No
then
worries.
Malux
Thank
lives
you.
here. Hey, Jesus is Lord.
Thank you so
Malux
much.
wants 10 copies.
What? Wow.
Una owe me.
Wait,
Una owe me.
what did she just say? Wait,
Mbole, una
she said,
owe me.
wait, hold up. Did I hear 10 copies? What?
My friend from Dallas, the one I told you about, the pharmacist, she wants 10 copies.
Wow.
And
Thank
guess
you.
what? She lives in Mikini. But you remember when I came to visit and I told you I was going to see a friend that just had a baby? She's the
That
one.
is
So she's your neighbor.
She's not far from me. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you all so much. One copy, two copies. I am forever grateful because wow.
Hey,
Thank you.
Joycey.
Wow. And you tell me you are not Oprah. People claim Oprah and they're not even Oprah.
Pancho, you owe me. You owe me. You owe
Thank
me.
you
You
so
owe
much.
me.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Yes. Thank you. Yes, I
Thank
have,
you
and
so
don't
much,
worry.
Malux. Thank you. Oh
I
my God,
have,
this has been my
don't
dream.
worry.
When I did the show with Edith, right? I did the
Yes.
first Glam Media talk show with Edith of African Style Fashion. I was so depressed after the show because nobody bought anything, and I was like,
Oh,
no, I was so
no, but
stressed out.
no. But let me tell you something, my dear. People may not buy on the spot, but don't forget these lives are on your page. They come back. You don't know how many times I've followed up on.
And
I
that's
like
exactly
what.
what she told me. She said,
Yes,
"Boo, no worry. People don't
I
contact
never
me. No
make it.
worry."
I've missed all your live, but I've watched them after. I think the last one is the only one I didn't watch. I always end up watching after, and that's how I
Saying they
even
bought
knew that
after.
it's. That's how I knew they had the rich aunties. The rich
Oh wow,
aunties
she said
on.
they bought
Yes,
after. Okay,
yes.
okay.
So yeah,
Oprah
you
is
know,
here.
I'm so excited. I'm
yeah.
gonna pardon me. Oh,
Well,
I'm so excited. That's how I
no,
express
thank you. I'm
myself.
I'm super excited, and
Anytime
I'm
I'm happy,
so
you know. If
grateful.
I'm sad, you know.
Yeah.
I'm so
And
excited.
don't worry, ladies. I have brand new ones that are sealed in plastic. This is just mine that I have because I have some
Yep, I
old.
just
Yes.
opened mine
Yeah.
yesterday
Mine,
or
yours will
2 days
be
last week.
sealed. I have new ones that are still sealed and I'll personalize it with little notes. Thank you so much. Yes.
Thank you so much, sis. Okay, before we go, the last question of the day that we have for you is to tell us about the motivational. When I was trying to describe you, when I was writing about you, I was like, what should I call her? Motivator, inspirational speaker, inspirational writer, or there's a page that you run, which is Mbole Ekaney, your own under your name, and it's different, completely different from the HotJem. So I noticed that that page has its own niche, which is, what you do on there. So can you tell us more about that and where it's coming from and where you're going with it?
Sure. Okay, absolutely. So, I've spent so much time branding the hot gem, just focus on the hot gem that at some point I've been putting myself in the background. But then I realized that a lot of times people do want to know the people, the face behind some of these things, and it's as much as you can do things behind the scenes. Sometimes it's hard to add value to anything when people don't know you. And when they know the things you do, they tend to listen to you more, right? So I
Yes.
decided that
Yeah.
I'm done. I've reached that stage where I can leave work for like people like Benoit and the rest. I don't need to be all over the place. That's why I have him as my right hand man. That's why I have content writers. They can take care of that. Now for me, it's really to market the magazine, because this now for me is key, and brand it, and then bring myself forward. And for me, it's also like a marketing tactic as well, because a lot of times when people, I'm pitching ads to people. Don't forget, magazines can only run if you have ads. If you don't have ads, you're paying for everything out of your pocket. So
Yeah,
I need to pitch ads, and people are always like, "Oh, are you on Facebook?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm on Facebook." And at the time, my following was so low, but now when they come on and they see that I talk about positivity, I talk about lifestyle, and it's not that I'm faking it. That's just me. I'm a mentor to so many people. So it's so
exactly.
natural for me to just talk about things going on in life. And I want to also address things that people don't like talking about. I talked about bleaching one time. People almost cut my head. I talk about, you know, being entitled, and because I know a lot of the people that watch me are not only people from the diaspora, but from
Exactly.
Cameroon. I want to teach these youth that you don't feel entitled to anything. If anybody does anything for you, it's because they want to, not because you earned it. Don't feel like every time you do something for somebody, they must do it for you. They must
Do it
give
back
back.
to, yeah,
I
exactly.
try to like teach people those things, because if you don't have that mentality, where if you don't change your mentality at a young age, you're going to be very disappointed in life, because life is, people will betray you. So you need to get
Exactly.
ready to for that type of thing. Don't expect from people, because when they betray you, you'll not be as surprised. So for me, when I started posting, it was just natural. It's just me posting those things. But not to say that I will not talk about controversial topics. There'll be times that the topics are not so positive. They may be tough love. I'm going to
Yes,
address it.
true,
If you don't
sis.
like it, you can move on. But my goal is really to empower our community, make them feel more confident, make them to be prepared to deal with everyday life. And I know that things are hard, especially in
Yeah.
Cameroon. It's not easy. So I know that sometimes we can say one thing and
Please
they're
send
like,
Bole
well,
some hearts.
yeah,
Please send Bole
yeah,
some
yeah.
hearts. Hearts, hearts,
It's not
Bole.
easy. So I want people to know that you're not really
Some hearts,
alone,
hearts, hearts
Yeah,
for our guests. Some
yeah.
hearts, please.
And my goal is to be able to figure, like, not figure out. My goal is to be able to create a system where people can actually benefit from it. Like if I can team up with, say, an educational center where we can have people come and get educated on certain things, then that's
Exactly.
fine. You know what I mean? That's my
Yes,
goal. So
sis.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to
yeah.
use my influence. I need to build my page so that people can see that I have a little bit of a voice. I don't call
Exactly.
myself an
The
influencer.
voice is
I'm
my, yeah.
just
The voice
I'm
is
just
so
Mbole Ekaney, just out there trying to motivate people and do my own things. But in the process of it, I'm trying to build my brand as well. So there are multiple
okay.
things going on. Yeah.
That's good. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, sis. Oh my God, it was such a pleasure having you here. You know, when
Thanks for having me.
when I went to Dallas last month, that was the first time I actually met Mbole in person.
Yeah.
We've been talking
It
over the
was
phone for more
fun.
than,
It was
I can say, more
fun.
than 5 years. And let me tell you guys what Mbole did that stayed in my heart. Every time I talk about Mbole, I talk about how she introduced me to blogging and all. But that's not what Mbole did for me that touched me. Let me tell you about this lady. My mom, everybody that knows me knows my mom. I lost my mom in 2021, right? Before my mom died, the night before my mom died, I was so sad and stressed out and depressed. I had been posting about my mom being sick and, we're in the hospital and stuff like that. So she called me to check on me, how I was doing, how I was holding up. And I don't know whatever she had, going on or what she had to do. Ben Bole stayed with me on the phone for 2 hours, more than, I can say, 2 hours 30 minutes,
Yeah.
just comforting me, making sure that I'm okay, talking to me. And she was even telling me about things that I need to go to the hospital and talk to the doctors about. Mind you, I'm a nurse. I knew all those things, but then when you're in that moment where you're
Yeah.
losing a loved one,
You
you
were
don't think,
sad and you
your
were just, you were
mind is
helpless.
so
Yes.
messed up.
Yeah.
Like there were little things that I had to follow up, but I couldn't because of the trauma that I was going through. Bole took her time, whatever she was doing, she left it and she stayed on the phone with me. In America, time is money. Nobody stays with 1 hour, so now 20 or $50, depending on what your job is. She
Yeah.
stayed with me on the phone for almost 3 hours just to comfort me and make sure that I talk to my mom and I see my mom. And guess what? Because of her push, she encouraged me to go to the hospital the
I
next day.
did because
And
I
the next
wanted
day
you
when
to
I
go.
went to the
Yes.
hospital, that was the last
Yeah.
time I saw my mom.
And that
That
thing
same day
bothered
as I
me
left
for
the hospital, my mom
so
passed
long. You
away.
don't
So
understand
Mbole
because
will always have
yeah.
that special place in my heart. Like it's not only about blogging for me, it's about personal. She hadn't even met me before. She just
Yeah.
took a particular liking to me. And then when we met, it was fire. It was,
It was
in short, it was
amazing. Yeah.
magical. We had to just see each other briefly, like 15 to 20 minutes, but we ended up staying in that house for like five
So like,
hours,
yeah, we were
talking,
just
taking
talking,
pictures, just having fun,
talking till
eating
we
and
were
drinking. I
driving
mean,
off.
it was a party.
Yeah. Oh my God. I had, and your family was so amazing, so welcoming. It was just a perfect setting. And that's how I know the type of people that you are with that are, they have that positive energy, and immediately when I met you, it's as if we knew each other for years. So it was a pleasure. I was so honored seeing you. You made my day. I was like, oh, I met Glam Queen. I was so excited. Yep. Yeah.
Small me, oh, and nobody
Yes.
like me.
No, I was so excited. Yeah, I was very excited. Yes, you have
Thank you
beautiful
so much, sis.
children
Thank
and
you, thank you.
everything.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pancho, you have I wanted I have one last question from Mbole, which is like
Sure.
tell us, something about how you can advise young bloggers, anything for young bloggers that are coming up, then Pancho can, conclude.
Sorry, I just saw a comment from Angu, who's been there. Good Heart Mbole has given me gigs on her website and paid. We met on the comment section. That's true. He's done work for me. And he's a great guy, Angu, and
Oh, Ango Ransom, that's
he's
Pancho's
a
best friend.
strong Jovi fan. I know that. I told him that he needs to connect me to Jovi. That's the one thing I'm gonna ask.
Shout
And
out
shout
once
out to Joy Atamde. She's one of my writers as well. And congrats to her for her own magazine. You see, that's how you do it. People work with you, they work on your magazine, they also do their own, and that's how it should be.
Exactly.
We need more people doing this, and she's a writer, so I expect that from her. But
Yeah. Thank you,
sorry,
sis.
yeah, so go back to the question again. Sorry, I had to take
No,
a
the
moment.
question was, what is the anyone like any little secret, or let me not even put it as secret, like any tip or advice for young bloggers that are coming up after us? Because me, I'd already
Oh
for
yeah,
blogger.
absolutely. So the blogging game has changed, obviously. I think back then when we started, we were just doing it out of passion. I just like writing. I wanted to, promote people just like you. But then over time, I realized that I had something that could pay, and we did get paid. We had a lot of paid gigs. I think Benoit could confirm that. But in general, I think that people that are coming to blog should want to really do it, because trust me, if you don't want to do it, if you don't see traction in say a year, you're going to give up. You will give up. You just have to keep doing it. Do it
Mm,
not expecting people to see it. So when they see it,
exactly.
trust me, you will feel like, wow, I did something. Have no expectation, but also be smart about it, because now we're in a digital era. It doesn't have to only be passion. You can also put a business around it. Anything you put out there, content is money. You can see Facebook is paying some bloggers 1 million CFA, $2,000 and stuff. So while you're blogging, make sure that you enjoy what you're doing. But and there's nothing wrong in also attaching a business plan to it. I think that if you have a business plan from the get-go, you would be more successful than just doing it with no destination. It's like
No,
driving and you're not knowing where you're going, right? You're
thank you,
just
sis.
driving
Note to
around.
self.
Yes. But if you're okay with just driving, you want to see the scenery and all that, that's fine. But if you have a plan to get to from here to point A to B, have a plan from the get-go. There's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't
No.
mean that you're not passionate. You're just being smart, because there's money to be made in blogging. And my advice is, if anybody wants to get into blogging and they want to get a bit more of the business aspect, reach out to people like Joe Bird. Follow his page. He's all about business, making money, entrepreneurship. Those are the people that you need to follow. Try to follow positive, like not even positive. Follow those pages that have the information that can get you from point A to B.
To point
Because
B, exactly.
following gossip, gossip,
No, they are
gossip,
following
gossip
gossip.
will
They
not
are
do
following
anything for you.
Salatier's life
Yes.
and Blanche Billy, father of Blanche Billy's child.
You know, follow the pages that will
They
get
are
you
looking
from
for the
point
father
A to
of
B.
Blanche Billy's
Yes.
child. I
I
don't
will
know what
not
they
say
want to
positive or
target. They're
negative.
looking for
If
it.
you want to get into gossip blogging, then follow gossip bloggers, because you want to see how they're doing it to get successful. It's a business. Linda Ikeji made money out of it. So there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, then just do it the right way and do it in a way that you can make money from it. And also follow those pages that you think can get you from point A to B. Look for bloggers that have made money. Also look for bloggers that have been around for a long time, because you need a little bit from all of them. Someone like me, I've been around for so long. What kept me that long? Some of these bloggers who came 5 years later who are making money, will they be there in 5 years? So you need to have a balance. Meet the people that have been there before you, meet the people that are making money, and meet the people that you feel are very savvy. There's so many people out there doing big things, you know, in their
Thank you.
own little way. And don't only follow the popular people, because I keep telling people that popularity doesn't only mean success. People can get popular out of just luck. I could be with Don Jazzy right now and my page blows up because of that one time, but not because I have anything else to offer. So always
Exactly.
remember that
Yeah.
numbers on a page does not equate to good content or content. some people get popular because they're in drama, but doesn't mean that they have anything that is worth your while. So don't always look at a page and judge it and say, oh, they only have 2,000 followers. Someone like
Exactly.
Joy Atembe, I think her personal page, her profile page does not have that many followers, but she writes good things. She
Good,
profiles
yeah,
people.
good
She's a
articles.
real writer. I mean, she's a good writer. You
Yeah,
understand? But then you'll see another blog that maybe just got lucky and how they had a couple of viral posts. Now they have 30,000 followers. Doesn't make them any better than her. So be
exactly.
smart. Be smart. Use your head. Go with
Yeah, thank you,
substance.
sis.
It's
Thank you
quality,
so
not
much.
quantity.
Thank
Yes.
you. I personally do ask Pancho, I don't get carried away by those numbers. I always tell
No,
him,
I
I said,
don't.
everybody has their niche, everybody has their time, everybody has their like
And there's
whatever
enough
is
room for
meant
all
for
of
you is
us.
for you.
There's
Yeah.
enough room for all of us. You know, I
Yeah.
find it so weird when I hear people say queen this, queen that. Like, I mean, before they were there, we were there, and we're still here, and we'll still be there. God give us
Yeah.
life. You know,
I
there's
don't, I
space for
don't, I don't
everyone.
follow. And
Yes.
anyway, I'm
Yeah.
somebody in life. My life, I'm good with what I have. I always appreciate what I have at any
Yes.
moment that I have it. I don't look at anybody's thing.
Because
I don't
you're
envy anybody's
comfortable.
thing. I instead support you, and I'm happy for you. I congratulate you, and we move. I don't have
Yes.
energy to be stressing about anything because for
And
me,
that's
I
the
know that
truth.
what I'm doing, especially this positive vlogging, is not their cup of tea. It's not people. That's not what people want. Very few people want this thing that we are doing, and I've grown to accept and appreciate anybody that is here supporting us, and which is why I was telling them before you guys came on, I was telling them that Pancho and I were thinking of ways to appreciate our followers, and this is part of what we talked about when we started the show. So we're just trying to figure out how to go about it. So we were going to like pick, like every now and then we'll go to the page and pick our active followers, people that have been supporting us, because at the end of the day you have people that follow you on
Exactly.
Facebook, whether you give them something or not, and those are the people
Exactly.
that are worth whatever I want to give them. So I was actually going to buy the magazine and distribute it to my followers, but since I
Oh,
already have somebody that bought them, I'll say, okay, let me distribute that one, and
thank
then
you.
if we need more, I will reach out to you and I'll buy more and distribute it. So
No
what we are
worries.
trying to do is support the people that support us. Last week we sent some. For me, whenever I send something to somebody, I always apologize and I say it's very small, but the way they
And you should
appreciate it,
not. No, no, no,
sometimes
no,
I,
no,
I feel
Granting. Wait,
bad,
wait,
like, oh
wait,
my god,
wait.
I was
Pause, pause,
minimizing
pause,
this.
pause, pause. Let's pause
Yes,
there. You need to stop this. You don't need to apologize because, again, nobody's entitled to anything. It's you just appreciating people for what they do. And if they
yes,
really, really care about you, they should not care whether you give them something or not. They're not following you to get something,
yes.
because
I
if they are
always feel like
following
it's
you
too
to get
small.
something, then they should not be following you. Yes. Do you know how many times I have friends that sometimes it could just be unfortunate that they're on the receiving end because they just need help, but I'm not doing it because I expect them to do for me. I would think
Exactly,
that maybe if I'm in a bad situation, at least they will check up on me. But nobody, I mean, let's not make it as a normal thing where people expect all the time, because
exactly.
they also have to learn that you can be loyal to people. You don't know what they
Without
can do for you
expectations,
tomorrow.
exactly.
Let me tell you, the people that have benefited the most from me are not the people that ever want anything from me. They're the people that were there. I remember when they shadow banned the HotJem page and we were not seen by anybody for months. We will post, have two people coming on. There are some two people, and I'll give them a shout out, Ntui and it's Ebenezer. Those two guys, they would comment when nobody would comment. Suddenly
Yes,
everybody was on. They will type the hot gem and come on our page, even when they did not see it on their timeline. They supported, supported, supported,
support.
supported for
Yeah,
like years. They never won any giveaway. But you know what? One day I just surprised them because I said, you know
exactly.
what?
Yeah,
You guys, I've been noticing you. You may not get it now, but I may do something for you in 2 years that will surpass all the giveaways that I've given to people. So just be
exactly,
patient. Again, going back to the patience, be patient and just be loyal. If you like somebody, you think they're doing a good thing, and you feel like it coincides with your values, just be loyal. Don't expect
just be
anything
loyal.
because
Exactly. Yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
mean because I
That's one
mean
of the things that
don't
I've noticed on
apologize. What
Facebook.
are you
Yeah, a lot of people are
apologizing
not
for?
loyal. A lot of
Yes,
people are not loyal.
no, they're not. The minute you stop doing something, they're running to the next
They're
person. But
running
the
away.
grass,
I've
the
had
grass
that
is
happen
not
to me a
greener
lot
on
on
the
here.
other side. Yes, it's not greener on the other side. At the end of the
Yeah,
day, I look back and say, I don't have anything to lose because I'm the one giving. If you don't want it from me, then hey, I'll just use that money
you just
and
you
take
realize
care of
exactly.
myself.
Yeah,
I have my own
yeah.
problems. Has anybody ever given me money? I have things I have to do. I have my own bills. So people think that
So
they're the
many
only ones with
problems.
problems. Yes. I'm sorry.
Pancho,
No,
one
you
hour
need to
problem every
stop.
year.
Yeah. No, because our people back home always think they're the only ones that have problems and they always want you to give them. No, I have problems too. You can wake up one day and just text me and say, hey, Mbole, or hey, mom, or boss, or whatever. How are you doing today? You can
Exactly.
ask me how I'm doing. I have bad days, but I come online. I don't tell you I have a bad day.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
that's true.
I
We
mean,
all
let's
have
stop
bad
this
days, Mama.
nonsense.
We all
Yes.
have bad days. That's
People think that because we're
true.
abroad, everything is so perfect. No, if you know the responsibilities I have, trust me, you would never ask me for another dime or anything because I have a lot of responsibilities. But because I have responsibilities does not mean that I cannot help. It's a
Yes.
sacrifice we make. As a matter of fact, this HotJem magazine was supposed to be launched in 2018. But the reason why I pushed it for 2 years was because I was helping so many people financially.
Exactly.
I'm supporting this person, supporting that person, doing da 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 da. Da. I'm only one person. So the money that I would have used to invest in our own thing, we ended up supporting other people. And I have
Supporting
no
other people.
regrets.
Yeah.
So when people start talking about, oh, you don't support your own just because I'm not 100,000 followers influencer, does not mean that I have not helped. I have helped a lot of people. I'm
Exactly.
just not that kind of person who makes noise about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's
I
true.
mean,
Thank you
let's
so much,
stop.
sis.
Let's
Thank
just
you very
stop.
much.
Yeah.
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 So, Pancho, one last conclusion before we let
And
Mbole
sorry,
go, and
I
then
don't
we'll
mean to
give our
sound a
guest
bit
the.
harsh, but I just feel like we have to pass this message across. Let's not be pretentious with these people. Let's let them know that things are not easy. We live abroad. There are people here who have 6 jobs. You
Yeah.
don't know when they send you 20,000 francs or 10,000 francs. Some people have 6 jobs,
Exactly.
so just be
I, for one,
thankful.
right, I always
Yes.
feel like because I know Cameroon is so hard. So when I'm sending something to Cameroon, I always wish, like, what I wish is I wish I have more to give.
We
But then
all
the
wish we
little
could
that I
have
give, I
more.
always let them
Yes.
know that this is all I can afford for now. I don't lie, I don't pretend. And if you
Yeah.
ask me when I don't have it, I'll tell you that I don't have it. Pancho can testify. I'll
Right.
tell you that I don't have it because I'm not going to go above and beyond, to give somebody
But
something that, and
Glaminia,
then
you
I
don't
will
even
stay
need
empty.
to explain to
Yeah.
them. You don't need to explain to them that you don't have. If you're giving them that amount, then that's what you have. Because you having to explain to them means that they have not a particular entitlement of a certain amount. If you don't want that amount, then don't take the money. Go somewhere else.
Okay.
No, I'm serious.
Where it's just me. I
No,
like to
I'm
make
sorry.
everybody happy.
No,
Yeah,
no,
I
no.
guess
I mean,
I guess I'll stop
no.
explaining now.
Yeah,
So
no,
I will
you
just
shouldn't
give what I have
explain.
and that's it.
Look,
Okay,
I
thank
don't
you.
explain. I don't explain to anybody, and it's not
I'll
because
just
I
give
have
what I
to.
have. It's because
I
I
don't
know how
explain to
tough
anybody.
Cameroon is, so I always
Yes,
feel bad for them. All right, Pacho.
but Glam Queen, you don't feel any worse than I do. You understand what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
don't feel you explaining does not mean that you feel worse than I do. You understand? Because the reason
yes,
why we give in the first place is because we know what the conditions are. We know how
yes.
bad it is. If I had a chance, I would sponsor all these people to
Income,
do what
yeah,
they want to do.
yeah.
But I can't. I also have other things I'm doing. I just can't. So if I give you something, I should not really explain. You should just understand that if I had more, I would have given you.
Oh,
That's
giving,
just the way
yeah,
it is.
yeah. I
Yeah.
always like to.
You know.
All right, thank you so much, sis. Thank you for that. So to all our faithful and active followers, like I said, we have a good package for you guys. I will be supporting those who support us because this Facebook, I've come to understand that a lot of people just come here and they like to exploit people, but we're not going to fall for that no more. So you support us, we support you, and we move. That continues.
Oh
So
yeah.
Pancho, give us like a closing remark, and then also we'll talk more about the magazine. I'll reach out to the people that have promised to buy. We'll reach out to them.
Thank you
And then
so much.
anybody else
Thank
that
you
is
again.
interested in coming on the show, if you have a product that you want to sell and stuff like that, please contact us. So I don't talk before. We didn't have market for you. Would you say Kako?
Absolutely.
All right, Pancho, go
I
ahead.
think I think Mbole has like kind of she has lots of principles that she follows. You can get from the way she talks, and like it's somebody that many people can learn from. Me, when I came to social media, I was just posting my stuff. I was just writing stuff and posting on Facebook. Like I didn't even know what blogging was. When I just felt that I just looked for the domain that I knew that I mastered the most, which was music, and I love talking about music. So I was just sharing my content here. I noticed a lot of people were taking interest in it. Until now, I've never really always found myself like in some kind of a hurry because I don't see like people are some kind of a heavenly race where they want to take the world and everything. Meanwhile, everyone can just be winning in their end without necessarily feeling like there's a competitor by
Exactly.
the corner, stuff like that. So like I've been watching Bole, and I must admit that it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, and I respect the work that you and Ben Champion. I've got used to the
Ben
name Ben
Champion,
Champion.
shout out to my
Yeah,
I
Benoit.
beg, I don't even that name.
Where's
I know
Benoit? Is
that
he
you beg
online?
Benoit, all that in that drama.
Benoit better be online, oh.
yeah. So
And
like,
Boris.
there are many people, there are many young content creators that are just with the ministry just coming. Shout out to with the ministry.
Yes, Witty.
He
I was just
just
going to say Witty is here. Thank you,
Oh,
Witty.
really? Nice to meet him. I saw him in
so
Yaoundé a couple of years ago. Yeah,
yeah,
Rightly
he
say
was
one
one of
stay
our
is
guests.
safe.
yeah. Can I, Pancho,
So
Rightly, I
can
but
beg
I
I
no be
just
think
say
no be a show like this. So yes, stop out.
no? I want
I
Pancho
think
to continue.
another difficult thing is maybe the stuff with the reach and everything, the shadow bans and everything, and bloggers like they need to know that this thing you don't have to be under pressure. Sometimes I write when I'm inspired. I can write sometimes even 10 articles at a time if I feel that this is the moment to write that. When I don't feel like to write, I don't want to kill myself. I don't want to stress. I just take some time off, do something else. But when it's that moment for me to be productive, I make sure that I give it like 100%. Maybe many people have not got used to that. Like they always feel like at this particular moment I should develop this or I should do that, I should do that, and you kind of get that's you working under pressure. And I feel like
Right.
creating
Exactly.
content is not something that you should stress about. It's something that you should just do stress free without necessarily having to think a lot. So
Can I
once
just
more,
add to
Mbole, I
that?
think you should not stop.
Can
Yeah,
I just add what you to? Okay, so I
yeah,
totally
sure,
agree
sure.
with you. Yes, creativity is something that cannot be forced, right? But it
Yes.
also every blog has their own approach, and there's no wrong, there's no right. It just depends on what your business plan is or what your output is. What is it that you want for that blog, right? Now, if it was back in the day when I started the Hot Gym, yeah, whenever you feel like writing, you can write, right? But right now, where we are at, we are taking it like a business, and there are certain things we're trying to run it like a media outlet. Like when you go to some of those OK Africa, Essence Media, and all that, they have writers that are round the clock because that's where their money comes from, right? So
Yes.
you have your way, which is very fine. And again, I'm trying to say that don't feel pressured. We have our way. I need content to be on the page because now we want to take it to the next level. If I explain to you what I'm trying to do, you yourself will be like, whoa, you're dreaming so big, you know? And
Yes.
that's why. So that's why when people see things from outside, and I explain this, Benoit and my other content writer are very well aware of what I'm trying to do. If they were not comfortable with it, then I'm sure they would not be part of the team at this point, right? So we have a business plan, and our business plan, we want content. That's why if you've gone to our website, you notice our website is up and popping, like it's
Yes.
back. I mean, that's one area that I used to be so proud of, the website. Even when Facebook used to put us down, I used to know that we had the website to back us up. And I advise
Okay.
you to please get your website back because it will come in
Okay.
very handy.
We
Yes,
will.
that's yes. You know,
We will. No,
so
not just laziness.
no, I understand, and
We will.
it will happen. You have so much content, you just copy it over, so you're good. You know what I mean? But we have a business plan, and that's why again, and that's another advice I'll give to bloggers: don't see what one blog is doing and think that you have to do the same thing because you don't know why they're doing it. There are some
Exactly.
blogs that post 10 times a day, some even 20 times a day. Even me, who tells my bloggers to write every day, I'm like, damn, 12 times? That's a lot, right?
That's
If they
what.
can
Yeah.
even, if each can even do just two every day, I just need consistency. I need posts, right? So that's how we approach it. And somebody seeing us might think, oh my God, the Hot Gem is posting every day. How would I keep up? No, please don't be scared. We have something that we want to do, and that requires the posting every day.
Thank you,
You
Stella.
have your own business
Thank you
plan,
so much, Mama.
follow it. Yes. So
Thank you.
that's it. I don't feel pressured. And you're an amazing writer. I have to tell you, Pancho. I mean, your music write-ups, man, you are good in analyzing. I tell you.
Oh
Yeah.
my
No, he does a very good job. I will not
Oh,
lie. He's very good. Yeah.
I don't kidnap him.
okay.
Yes. I tell you.
I
Maybe
don't kidnap him
we
too.
might need to merge Hot Gem and Glam Media one day or and make it a big company.
Pancho is my
Well,
G. See,
he's doing
Pancho,
well.
Mbole, you already know, right? You know that after mom died, I left Facebook for almost a year and a half or two.
Yeah.
Pancho was the one that took care of that page
No,
all
you
the
told
while I
me.
was gone.
Pancho,
There are
she has
times
told
I'll
me
come and write my
nothing but
articles
good
after I
things.
came back and
Yeah.
people will not comment and I'll get offended. I'll call him, I'll be like, now what kind of nonsense is, you don't can take all my followers and nobody's commenting on my stuff anymore. It's like I'm boring them, like get out of the way. Pancho, we need to read something from Pancho, you know. So after
Yeah.
a while, I just started forcing it. I said, I'm gonna read my own one on like I'll now post.
Yeah. No,
You know.
he's a
So
good writer. He's very
yeah,
good,
he's good. He's
very
good. He's
articulate,
good.
very detailed. And I think I've told you that before, that you write your articles are really good. I would
Okay.
give it up to
Thank you,
you.
Yeah, you
sis.
did.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I've
they're
learned a
very
Thank
lot
you
from
good.
you
very
today. Like for me, I know that people always say, "Oh, you already." I never reach for no place. So I always
We're
learn.
all
I learn
getting
from
there.
everybody. Even my little brothers and sisters
Yeah,
that come
and I
after me, I
learned from
learn from
everyone too.
everybody.
I've never figured it out because, like I said, even the ones that are up and running that are doing well, I learned some of the things that they're doing that I can also
Exactly.
incorporate because we've
Thank you,
been doing
sis.
it for
Thank you.
so long that we're like on autopilot sometimes. So sometimes you have to
Yes.
stop and look around and say, okay, what's going on now? And you try to adapt because things change.
Thank you.
So we have to be adaptable and you have to be able to embrace change. That's the key
Yes.
to being sustainable,
Thank you so much. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sister Lucy Tabor says I've learned a lot too. And
Thank
well,
you.
Pretty Veronique, thank you for
Thank you.
joining, Mama. We're almost done. Actually, we've
Yes.
been. The good thing is that you can always go back and watch the show. Thank you for joining
Yes.
anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Witty Michelle. Thank you, Ransom. Thank you,
Thank you,
Lucia,
Winnie.
Benji, Lux, and like I said, my friend Lucia will be coming to this show. So she just had a baby, so maybe the full black ego come.
Nice.
She's an author. She has a lot of she's a doctor. She can tell
Awesome.
us everything that we need to know health wise and stuff. So thank you, Lucia. Thank you, everybody
Thank you
that watched us
guys.
today. Thank you so much.
Ransom,
This show has been my best
Gilbert,
so far because this is
Lucy,
the first show that I'm
Herman,
selling something. I'm so
Barbara,
excited. So thank you guys.
yeah,
Thank you all for
Joy,
joining. And next
Onella,
weekend, yeah, next weekend
Aka.
before the next weekend, Pancho, I go me vacationing. I don't know what other Pancho go fit to this show by himself.
Oh, yeah, sure. We enjoy it. Oh,
Anyway, I'll see if I have network where I'm going. We'll just talk to our guests for next weekend, and then if I have network where I'm going, we'll do it. But if not, then we'll do it the following weekend. That's the good thing about Glam Media Talk Show. We don't have a specific program. We'll just do it according to our availability and the
No
availability
pressure.
of our guests. Yeah,
No
no pressure.
pressure. Yes.
No pressure.
Yes.
So if you not see me next week, I'm on Saturday was on Saturday drink my margaritas.
You deserve it. You deserve
Thank
it.
you all
Yeah.
for joining. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the love. Oh my God, my people. Like I said, we'll give you people something nice, but we'll just do it randomly. We'll not, like Mbole said, no pressure, no explanation. We'll just pick people that support us and we'll support them too.
Yeah.
And that's it. Period.
Yeah. And we're
Period.
always so
All right.
grateful
Since
for
where I
our
don't want to go,
followers.
yeah, I wish
Yes.
we can just stay all day.
Yeah. We're very, very grateful. I'm very grateful. I see a lot of
Pancho, we'll cover
people.
all thing now. We'll cover all thing, right?
Yes,
yeah,
I
it's
think.
like Mbole wants to
Okay.
say something. Mbole wants to
Oh,
Okay.
close. You want?
no, I think because the connection, so when she speaks, it overlaps. Yeah, but no, I was just saying that I'm also very grateful for the people that support us on our platforms. At the end of the day, we're not going to be able to have a voice if they're not listening. I
Exactly.
see a lot of them that follow me that also seem to follow you. So I'm very grateful and thank you so much for putting me on your platform and introducing me to your audience. One day I need to do the same, bring you
Thank you,
guys on the
sis.
live and interview you and Pancho individually.
Thank you,
Yes.
sis. Thank you.
So we'll
Remember when I
definitely do
told you
that.
about Glam Media Talk Show? I was so scared to start. And she
Oh,
was like,
please.
girl,
Look,
you got this. Keep
let me
going.
tell you, we've been talking
Thank you.
about doing
Thank you.
like a talk show thing for long. Ask Benoit. Benoit's tired of me already. So when I saw you
Yeah, he
guys
told
doing it,
me
I
too. He
said,
told me
good.
about that. He
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
Bone has so much plans, so many
No,
things going on. At the end
if
of the day,
Benoit
we'll
is
just do
watching
what we
me,
can do.
Benoit can
Yeah.
start it on his own. He doesn't really need me. He's very
Thank
capable.
you.
So
Thank you,
I
sis.
know he
Thank you
can do a
so much.
great
Thank you,
job. Yeah.
everyone. I'll
So
always tell
thank
my
you so
people,
much.
thank you, na plenty, oh, because
Thank
if
you.
people
Thank
are
you.
not
Thank
watching
you.
us, me and Pat will catch it off here. We talk for air, and then we'll finish, we'll go. But you guys are here. We are here because you guys are here. Hey, Lucy has followed the Hot Gem. Thank you.
Oh,
Please,
thank
anybody
you.
who is not following Mbole and the Hot Gem, please go and
Yeah.
follow her. I'll also put her pages in the comments after this so that people can get to her. So please follow the Hot
Thank
Gem,
you so
follow
much.
Mbole Ekaney, and reach out
Yeah.
to her if you need a copy of the magazine. People in Cameroon, reach out to Benoit Yuven. I'll put his name also in the comment section, and then I'll get to Mbole about those who have already
Champion.
bought here in America. Thank you guys. Thank you. I don't know
Thank
which
you
one
so
to talk
much.
again.
I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Bye
Yes.
bye.
And keep
Have
up
a
the
good
great
weekend,
work.
sis.
Keep up the
Thank you
great
for
work.
accepting our invitation. All right.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye, Pancho.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye,
Okay.
Mbole.
Okay.
So Mbole is leaving, and then me and Pancho. Okay.
3, 2,
Okay, Mbole don't go. Yes. So, people of our good family, please, can you guys kindly go leave us a review on our page? Because when you leave us positive reviews, Facebook pushes the page further. So please leave us positive reviews. And again, we'll be sharing what we make from the page. If ever, whenever we start making something, we'll be sharing it with our faithful followers. Thank you guys. Thank you all so much. We love you. We appreciate you. God bless you. We'll try with the consistency. We'll go try. Except for once in a while when I go for vacation. I've said that except when I go for vacation, then if there's no network where I am at that time, then that's when I'll not do the show. But trust me, if I'm gonna inside cave, if network there, we will do that show. We'll go whole phone, we'll take ring light, all kinds of things, we'll do the show for under that cave. So now count on me for that one. Thank you, man. Looks, thank you. Pancho, they say we are awesome.
Yeah, we are, Hey. This is the probably like the food week or
that's what you're talking about.
Food week.
Doesn't thank you, I'm here. We are. Please follow us. So continue to like. Thank you, Mbole. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Pancho, let's end the show now. Mbole is really nice. So chai mama continue. Short. God don't bless me. The promotion thing don't make I don't meet up a lot of incredible people. I cannot lie to you. I've met so many nice people. I also had some good Pancho, you don't notice who are new faithful followers. They're Pretty Veronique or Nella then. Where they for matter the Matthias.
If you see Susan for some place, I see that new followers.
Susan like, pop up at one point for the beginning. Witty to come. You see Witty now. Yeah. I see Descartes. I see Sheila Tangi. Sheila too now one good follower. He be very faithful for do show. Now ransom way. Ransom just ransom not do me the way I expect. But it's fine. All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, fam. Muna. No forget for share. Oh, Muna, no forget for share back. Okay, Pancho. Bye.
Bye. The boss of all bosses.
Bye, family. Your crush no come today.
Don't worry. He get fine for next meeting.
Please go and follow the HotJem, follow Glam Media and share and comment and drop us hearts, drop us reviews so that Facebook can pay us and then we can share with you people. Thank you. Bye-bye. Happy weekend. I want to go meeting now. I get meeting today. The rest of the day and joker. I go drink my mimbo and enjoy my life.
Go.
Bye.
Go to our life.